do my taping for WALB Dialogue Show with Karla Heath Sands. So I'm actually driving there now. I am extremely excited. I don't know if I'm nervous. I don't think so. You know, I mean, there's always a level of anxiety that comes right before I do any kind of speaking or presentation or interview. But I'm really excited about, you know, everything that's happening. So I hope that you will be there to view it once I let you know it's available. But basically, yeah, I'm pulling in now to WALB News 10 station, and I'm going to go and record this TV show. Yay! All right.
WALB presents Dialogue, a weekly public affairs program exploring community concerns and spotlighting regional activities.
Well, a couple of questions as we start this dialogue. First of all, are you just starting out in your medical career, or maybe you've been in the medicine field for a while now? Are you a solo practitioner? Are you about to start your clinicals and you have no clue how to interact with patients? Well, my guest today has what we could call a manual to help you with those responses, I guess you could say. I'm talking with Dr. Simone Josie. We will call her Dr. Simone. Yes. A pleasure to meet you and welcome.
Much, Karla. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you have been in the Albany area for about a year.
Correct.
And earlier this year, you actually came out with, is this your first book?
It is.
It's entitled More Than Medicine, What They Don't Teach You in Medical, MA, Nursing, or PA School. My first question is, what inspired you to write this manual?
Okay, well, to be honest, I've had the pleasure of practicing in Georgia, Florida, and Michigan. Okay. And while all of those experiences were completely different, there was one thing that was the same. And it was the fact that our patients they require and definitely deserve more than medicine. And what I mean by that is it's more than just diagnosis. It's more than just treatment plans and surgeries. They want personal skills. Just like you have a hairdresser, you go to that hairdresser. Why? Because you have a connection with them. Right. You have a barber. You go to the barber. Why? Because you have a connection with him or her. The same way it is with, you know, patients and their doctors or their nurses. They want to feel connected. So basically, More Than Medicine bridges the gap between didactic or just medical knowledge, as well as interpersonal skills or customer service skills, because unfortunately that's just not something that is taught in schools.
Now see, that's very interesting, because, you know, we were talking prior to our taping, and just like we often hear about parenting not coming with a manual, you just kind of learn it as you go. So what you're saying is that when a physician completes medical school, you know, that is not like there's a bedside manner 101 course.
Not, when I said, you know, not to my knowledge. I mean, I've talked to tons of, you know, doctors, nurses, physician assistants, and that's just not something we know. We get excellent medical training in the sense of we can diagnose and treat like the best. But when it comes to, okay, well, what do you do when a patient is frustrated, angry, or if they are still in pain and you have, what do you do with actual personal skills? How do you address that? There's no clue, but this book helps with that.
All right, so I'm going to back up and allow you to share, I guess, that journey. How did you end up in medicine? I mean, was this something that you've always wanted to do? Was there a family influence? Share your story.
So I have always loved sciences. So I actually went to an all-girls boarding school in Jamaica.
All right, you were born in Ohio.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. I was born in Ohio, raised in Jamaica.
Okay.
Both of my parents are Jamaican, and so I did some of elementary school and then all of high school in Jamaica. And so I was, you know, I was always good in sciences. I love sciences, but my focus was more physics actually when I first started.
Okay.
However, I talk entirely too much for physics. I am more of a people person, so
You've got those people skills.
You know, God bless, yes. You know,
Okay.
so I said, you know, I talk a little bit too much just to be in a lab coat, you know, just doing physics behind, you know, and with test tubes and such. And so for me, the natural course was to do something in medicine because people are in medicine, and so that's what really excited me about the field of medicine, because I could still do science, but then I could also deal with people. And I was like, yay, you know, so that was good for me.
All right, and so...
but as far as podiatry, everybody asks me, why podiatry? Why feet? Do you have a foot fetish?
And we haven't established that yet. You are a, what is it, DPM, MPH?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, it's a doctor of podiatric medicine, and then I also got a dual degree in public health. So I have a master's of public health.
Okay.
And I did that mainly because I want to treat people one-on-one. It's very important to me. But then also, too, macroscopically, I think public health, I can do something in that field also.
Okay.
So for me, it was about doing one-on-one patient care as well as macroscopic, actually changing healthcare via public health means.
All right, and so I understand, was it your aunt who's
Correct.
a podiatrist?
Yes, yes. My aunt is a podiatrist, and she was actually the one who, I remember going to her graduation, you know, as like a child or young teen, I would say. But I really didn't know what podiatry was. You know, podiatry is still not a mainstream profession, you know. But I like that. I like trailblazing. I like, you know, kind of finding new roads and new roads. And so here I was in my, you know, last year at University of Dayton, so I went to college, and she calls me up and she says, hey, have you ever thought about podiatry? I was like, I don't really, what is podiatry? You know, so I did some research. I went and saw her practice. She was happy, successful, she was loving it. And I said, well, okay, your family, let me see someone who maybe I don't know. I found a podiatrist locally. I asked him, hey, can I come in and shadow you for a day? And he was just so happy. And, you know, the thing was, I was actually seeing patients come into the office limping, in pain, in agony, and walking out skipping and happy because they had, you know, gotten either immediate results or at least a good treatment plan that they could actually implement.
Okay.
So it was attractive to me.
All right, so you have, like you said, you've practiced here in Georgia for about a year. Michigan?
Michigan, and then Florida, because that's where I did my podiatry school. So,
Okay.
you know, I was seeing patients, you know, throughout school. And then I did a couple of years in Michigan, and then actually I was in Upper Atlanta area for a little while, but now I'm in Southern Georgia, and I love it. I'll be honest with you, I had to run away from the cold.
Oh my, okay.
Which is what brought me back.
I love the way you describe your book. You say it's a customer service manual for those in healthcare.
Yes.
So it doesn't, you don't have to be in podiatry. You can be in any healthcare field. So what are some of the suggestions or examples that you use in terms of how people can, how physicians can better relate with their patients?
So little key things, like I say, you know, in the book I say initial cues. What are you going to look for when you first enter a room, right? Sometimes you might have a patient and they're deer in headlights. Okay, this patient is timid, they have anxiety, they're nervous. There are different ways we have to interact with that patient. You know, you have to take it slowly, calm down, don't be extra bubbly or excited, because that's going to further cause anxiety for them. Or say you have a patient who comes in and they have 3 kids, small, and they're running around, and of course they're distracted. My thing is, up front, tell the patient, I know that time is an issue, or I know that there are distractions. Let's go ahead and let's do this quickly. Let them know that you're being mindful of the fact that they have small children.
Okay.
Little things like that, you know, people pay attention to that, hey, you know what? She noticed that I have 3 kids running around, that, you know, so she's going to do her best to make sure that this visit is excellent, but also efficient.
Okay.
So it's little things like that.
Now, on the flip side of that, and I was telling you, you know, about hearing from some people when they are in a physician's office, and sometimes you feel like they've got an appointment somewhere else and it's not with me, even though we're paying, you know, but so they need to make the patient feel like they're really interested,
Of course.
and you know, they've got the time to hear.
Yep, and there are a few, I would like to say simple ways that we can do that without having a very long interaction, because you know, time
There
is
is time, right,
time
right.
limits, and we'd love to spend an hour per patient. Anybody who, you know, of course you'd love to. That's just not practical. So things like asking about their family, asking about a book you see them reading, asking about a recent vacation, you know, they went on. Patients and people in general equate good customer skills or good interpersonal skills with excellence, because that means you care about them beyond just the diagnosis.
Right, right. Okay. All right, so you are now practicing here. This book, More Than Medicine, What They Don't Teach You in Medical, MA, Nursing, or PA School, actually, the week that we're taping this is now on Amazon.
Yes, it is.
Wonderful.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Did you self-publish it?
I did.
Talk about this particular journey.
So, you know, the writing process, there were two things that I was, you know, I had for goals. The first goal was that I wanted to be an easy read, right? I wanted, you know, not daunting. I don't want for it to be, you know, super thick and just a lot of information. I want to be easily digestible.
I'm looking at 73, 74 pages.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And that was the first thing, because nowadays, whether you're a doctor, a nurse, I mean, nobody has time.
Right.
You know, and then the little time you do have, we are on social media, right? So I want to have something where easily digested.
Okay.
The second thing was I want to be practical. So if someone were to read chapter 2 this morning, before they saw patients, they would be able to implement it this afternoon. So as I was going through, what I literally did was, I'm seeing patients, and I would say, that might be helpful to someone else, because the patient, 2, 3, 4 patients have commented, you're the first doctor. Oh, wow, I can't believe you did X, Y, Z. I would make a note of it, go home and type it up. It's in the book.
Okay.
So that was the process.
All right. And one of the other things I'm interested in is whether or not, when you heard from the patients who said, you know, physicians are not showing or demonstrating the best bedside manner, how do female physicians compare?
You know, honestly, I don't think there's a difference. I don't think there's a difference. I think it's across the board, because it's not so much that men have a different bedside manner or worse bedside manner than females. It's not even like that. It really is just not everyone has that innate bedside manner. So this is for anyone, but I really don't notice a difference, to be very honest with you.
You know why I asked that? Because women are supposed to be the nurturers. So you would think that as they come in, you know, they would be more nurturing.
Well, and maybe in the beginning we all start that way. The problem is that after a while, you know, there becomes a routine. And that's just with any profession, any job, any career. It's a routine. And so you might find that, you know, I say the same diagnosis 100 times a week. So in it's just, this is what it is.
Automatic.
It's automatic. And so the personal aspect is pulled away from that if you're not careful, right?
Okay.
So even though some might come in and they are the most nurturing, caring, you're 1,000 patients in. Sometimes you lose that personal touch, that sensitivity. Well, this book shows how we can bring it back.
All right, so if you're interested in getting a copy of the book, hot on Amazon,
Yay.
More Than Medicine, What They Don't Teach You in Medical, MA, Nursing, or PA School by Dr. Simone.
Yes.
You can go to Amazon. You also have a website.
I do.
What is that address?
www.esteemspeaking.weebly.com.
All right, and so we're going to explain, there you are, look at that. We're going to explain what that's about, too.
Yes.
When we come back, more on a little manual, 74, 75 pages for the people in the medical field who might just want to brush up on their bedside manner. Stay with us.
Really just depends on what you're doing and how you're delivering for the patients, you know. So nowadays, anyone, anywhere can pull up your patient care profile. And anything on the internet is potentially permanent. So I like to say, of course, you know, you can't please everybody, and this is not a people-pleasing book.
Some bogus information.
Exactly, you cannot please everyone. But if your goal is to please everyone, then, you know, I figure like shoot for the stars and you'll land somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I look at it. You know, if you try and overshoot and over deliver for your patients, then chances are you'll have a better rating, and then ultimately, you know, just increase your patient profile as far as positive responses.
All right, and so the reason you are here is to talk about the bedside manner and the people in the, I started to say just the physician, but could be a physician's assistant or
medical assistant,
anybody in the medical
manager.
field. Right, and you know, those are the first line.
They're the first line
right.
of exactly interaction
so
with the
that's
patients.
very important, very important that you have that good customer service feel when you walk into a physician's office. Well, More Than Medicine, What They Don't Teach You in Medical, MA, Nursing, and PA School, first published earlier this year by Dr. Simone. Now, she is a very busy woman. Now, you also are a motivational speaker. So you've got a company, you have had it since 2006.
Yes.
Esteem Motivational Speaking, and go with the rest, give me the rest of the Weebly.
Oh, okay, so that's Esteem Speaking, well, www.esteemspeaking.weebly.com is the full email, or the full website address.
All right, and explain the Weebly?
Well, that's just the service that I use to actually host the website.
Okay, all right.
Yep. But Esteem actually is an acronym, and it stands for Empower, Strengthen, Teach, Enrich, Energize, and Motivate.
You've been doing motivational speaking for how long?
Oh gosh, probably since I was a teenager, I would say. I got into debating and speaking at an early age. I'll be honest with you. I started talking at 9 months.
Oh, you had something to say.
Oh, I must have. I must
okay.
have. So, but as far as formal speaking, you know, we actually had a title, 2006.
All right, so you have a tagline that you like to share.
I do, because you know, I do a lot on YouTube. And, you know, so forth. And usually I like to tell people, the bottom line is we can have all the resources available. But if we don't take matters into our own hands, then they're just resources, just potential. So I like to remind people that I'll either see you at the top or from the top. You decide.
Okay, so you are speaking now, what, to companies, to young people, to talk about your audiences?
Well, it really just depends on what the message is. Right now, I'm definitely parlaying more into corporate settings because, you know, when it comes to customer service, when it comes to personal and professional development, that's what I'm enthusiastic about. And I think that really encompasses all age groups. But I've spoken to universities, keynote addresses, I've spoken to small mom and pop, you know, corporations and groups. But really now it's anywhere there's a platform for personal and professional development, that's where I am.
So do you, in terms of setting your goals, I mean, writing this book, and I know you said that you were hearing from different patients from various states about the same thing. So that was a part of the reason you wrote this.
Correct.
But back in the day, did you, Dr. Simone, say, I want to do this, 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 and did you write those goals down? Or were these all a part of where you're still going?
Of course, yes. So I have a decade goals type list. Okay. So now I'm in my 30s. Okay. And that's, you know, a part of my decade goal list was...
When did you start?
I probably started this when I was probably in college.
Okay.
In college. You know, because when you're in college, a lot happens. You know, you're away from home. It's a lot of new experiences. And I wanted to kind of have a roadmap to help me out. Okay. And so I started writing my goals down. And by doing that, it becomes more than just a figment of the imagination.
They become real.
It becomes very real. As you are literally scribing those goals, it becomes more cemented in your psyche that, you know what, I need to do this. And then also, it's one thing just to say, oh, I want to write a book. Okay, that's a great goal. But now what are the steps to take it? So when I'm goal setting, when I'm goal planning, I have a large goal, and then beneath it, 4 or 5 small tasks.
Steps to get there.
Exactly.
All right,
exactly.
So when you talk to young people, when you talk to corporate, are any of those messages the same? And then how are they different?
So they're the same in that it takes a mind decision. You know, a lot of times, you know, I heard a story about 3 birds, right? 3 birds were on a fence, and, you know, one decided to, or one says, I'm going to fly away. Well, how many birds are on the fence? Should be 2. Okay. But just because he said he was going to, did he make the decision to? Did he actually do it? So just saying something is different from making a decision to do something. So that message is
and
universal.
Actually taking the action.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You know, it has to be the action has to follow.
Right.
Because we say lots of things, but do we follow through? So a lot of the message that I share is follow through. And that goes, it's universal. Whether you are in corporate America, whether you're just trying to make it through high school, you know what I mean? The message is the same with regard to that. Now, as far as how they're different, that's when the professional development piece comes in. Because a lot of times, and you know, unfortunately, I would probably say that nowadays young people need to have that professional kind of training earlier, because we do have social media, and there are so many ways where we can kind of leave a negative stamp that will follow us throughout, you know? So the real difference is probably just the way in which I present it, but the message is the same.
All right, we need to take another break. More than medicine, what they don't teach you in medical, MA, nursing, or PA school is available on Amazon, and you can also go to your website.
www.esteemspeaking.weebly.com.
We'll take one more break. We'll be right back with Dr. Simone. Stay with us. Field of podiatry, surgery.
Foot and ankle surgery.
Foot and ankle surgery. We can add author, we can add motivational speaker, also wife and mother. Let's talk about family.
Yes. So we are going on, what, like year 4, I think, of being married. So I'm excited. And then I also have a 2-year-old. He'll be 2 by the time this airs. He'll be 2. And his name is Brennan, and my husband's name is Laron. So yeah, family is really important. And honestly, I could not have done any of this without the wonderful support of not only my parents, but my spouse and so forth. So I'm really blessed.
So that's one of the juggling balls. And then, of course, we've mentioned writing the book. We've mentioned motivational speaking. You have also just recently been a speaker at Tuskegee.
Yes, I did in collaboration with Miss Future MD, which is a new organization, and it's for minorities interested in sciences. I believe that's the acronym, or science studies. And basically, I spoke to a group of young high school students as well as college students, women who were interested in science or medicine. And the goal was really just to tell them, hey, you know, podiatry is available, this is what we do. But then also there was a second piece where I just gave a couple just tips to navigate your way as, you know, a woman in science, which is honestly, you know, a minority type situation.
Right.
So.
And that's what the STEM program is all about across the nation.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Engineering, math, science, technology. Yes. All right. So I'm curious, when you told your friends who were also physicians, what type of response have you gotten from your book?
Well, I remember when I mentioned it because my cousin, she is also a podiatrist. She practices in a different part of the state.
So it's all in the family.
Oh yes,
all in the
family. And she was like, "When can I get it? When can I get it?" Another lady, doctor, she's a pharmacist, and she was flipping through just the proof. She said, "Oh my gosh, I deal with this every day," and she's a pharmacist. I need this. So the response I've gotten as far as, you know, it's like I can easily read it. It's something I can stick in my white coat. I can flip through, go to page, you know, 55. Okay, this is what I need to deal with. And so people are liking it because it's digestible, it's an easy read, and it's practical, things that they can implement same day.
And let me just say this, and I know that you just, you know, we found out that it's on Amazon this week, so do you know if it's downloadable on
it should be,
right.
it should be. It should be available for like, you know, e-readers and so forth.
Okay. Now, the other thing is that you have participated in, what is it? I've got it here,
a telesummit, like a teleconference.
Summit, rather, excuse me. So what was that about, and what is the idea behind that?
Well, basically, you know, as we go through the year, everybody has full steam in like December, right? Because January is coming, I'm going to change my life, I'm going to do, you know,
diet.
Right, exactly, weight loss and whatever.
Right.
But then, you know, come, you know, the next quarter, we kind of lose steam, we kind of lose focus, and we're back into our old ways. This telesummit literally helped to revive and recharge people. And it was, you know, a panel of speakers, and basically you register, you can call in, it was free, you could call in, and so at any given time, you had someone speaking to whatever you're dealing with, whether it be emotional, whether it be personal development, whether it be finances, business management. So it's a ton of information that people got, and it was almost like a buffet.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
all right, so this is across the nation?
Well, it was, we did it with Destined Greatness. So it was, you know, collaboration. It's, you know, quite a few people got together and did this, but it was wonderful. So we're hoping for many more such events where you can literally just get advice on whatever topic you need at that moment.
So you personal development, or
oh yeah,
we push 5 for personal development.
Right, exactly. Yes.
All right. Again, you are available for motivational STEAM speaking. In summertime, there are a lot of church groups who have young people.
Exactly.
Captured audience.
Oh yeah. So I've spoken to church groups, whether it be about diabetic foot care. That's something that, you know, oh my gosh, that's so important. That's so needed, you know, needed right now. So young groups, youth groups, as well as church.
Seniors.
Exactly.
So when they come to you for the surgical piece, I mean, that could be any number of issues. It could be for diabetic.
It could be fractures. It could be diabetics. It could be, or you know, diabetes related. It can be ulcer management. It can be flat foot reconstruction that's needed. I mean, literally anything foot and ankle related. That's what podiatry.
Bunions.
Yes.
Wow.
Hammer toes.
I had a bunion. I'll go ahead and say it. Right. It was painful. It was painful, but much better now.
Yay.
All right. So more than medicine, what they don't teach you in medical, MA, nursing, or PA school. That's what medical assistants.
Correct.
Or physician assistant school. Practical tips to improve bedside manner, manage staff and patients, and set you apart from other healthcare providers. Of course, you want to keep those numbers. I know now that there's some physicians, they've got so many patients, they can't take any more.
Right.
But there are some others, I'm sure, where numbers are dwindling.
Yeah.
And they might just want to look at their bedside manner.
Exactly. I mean, you know, here's the thing. There's always room for improvement.
Right.
You know, and people who are in the medical field, we tend to be go-getters, you know. So there's always room for improvement. So this helps.
All right, you can find this book on Amazon, and quickly give us that web address again.
www.esteemspeaking.weebly.com.
All right, a pleasure.
Thank you so very much for having me.
Just stay right there.
So much.
And everybody have a wonderful Sunday.
Hello, success enthusiasts. Dr. Simone here. Welcome back to my channel, Dr. Simone Says. As always, I am extremely excited that you're watching this video today. You know, most people know me as the limb-saving, life-saving foot and ankle doctor.